Hello, happy
I have
Tuesday.
missed the intro music. I've missed that.
Oh, we are back. We're back together to do our live together. So I literally came running into the office this morning at 9 a.m. going, woohoo! Rebecca and I are co-working together. So excited to have you back.
Thank you. And firstly, before we even go any further, I just want to thank you publicly for holding down everything over at Catalyst HQ. You've done an amazing job with the membership, an amazing job with the community, and I appreciate you. So thank you for that.
Oh, bless you. Thank you for saying that. But thank you to you as well, because you have been in the background with moral support, and the whole way through we've kept in touch. Even though you've been so busy having the baby, we've kept in touch, we've kept making plans, we kept things moving, even though you've been super busy. And baby Tobias is still tiny, isn't he?
I know, he's still so tiny, and actually perfect timing. He's just gone down for a nap. Like, you cannot plan today any better than what we've done.
Amazing. And you are looking so well.
Thank you. Trying. Let's not lie though. The sleepless nights are taking its toll. They're a bit of a killer. You forget though, Sarah. You forget really quickly, then you quickly get reminded.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure. But you don't show it.
Thank you.
You're very good. You're looking good. But yeah, I know it's tough. You do brilliantly.
So what's going on the agenda today?
What's going on the agenda today? Today we are going to talk all about confidence and fake it till you make it, which sounds like a really kind of random and unusual title for us to talk about in a live, because obviously normally we don't talk about faking anything. But in the area of confidence, actually, this is a really, really useful tip. So if you're joining us, come and say hi, come and let us know how you're doing today. And if you're on replay later, obviously give us a hashtag replay and let us know that you're catching up. So before we get into it, just going to do a quick intro, because it's been a while since we've been on together, since we've been live together. So I'm Sarah Bramall. I'm an ICF accredited transformation coach. I'm a trainer for a leading coach training organisation, and together we are the Coach Catalysts. And I'll let Rebecca introduce herself and explain a little bit about what we do together as the Catalysts.
Let's hope I haven't gone rusty already, but yeah. So I'm Rebecca. I'm also an ICF ACC transformation coach. And as Sarah says, together we are the Coaching Catalysts. We work with female professionals, female businesswomen, and we help them to prioritize their mindset, prioritize their well-being, so ultimately that they can thrive in all areas of their life. So we really do believe in the multi-dimensions of our well-being, that there are different aspects that we need to work on in order for us to live happy, healthy, and fulfilled lives. So we do that via coaching and training and consultancy, and we have a thriving membership. We have a lovely and supportive community, and we also offer group programs and group coaching too. So hopefully that wasn't too rusty.
That was pretty slick, I have to say. Well done. Okay, and we're going to talk all about confidence today, and we're going to leave you with some tips about what you can do to grow your own confidence if you need to, if you choose to. So I used to believe that confidence was fixed. I used to believe that some people were confident, some people were not confident. That was the way it was, and that there wasn't really anything that we could do about it. And actually, what I have learned through my journey of building my own confidence and working with clients and helping them to build their confidence is that 100% confidence is just like a muscle, and it can be built with focus and with time as well. So we're going to talk to you today all about confidence and how we need to fake it till we make it. The first thing to think about in that area of confidence is if I said to you, how's your confidence as a whole? You might not be able to answer that very clearly. Rebecca, what do you think if I said that to you? How's your confidence as a whole? What would you say?
Well, I guess you're asking somebody who's been working on their confidence over time, right? So if
Right.
you were to ask me this, God, years ago, before I even stepped into coaching, I probably would have said that I am confident in certain situations.
Yeah.
And so I was aware of kind of the situations that, I would exude this confidence, and certain situations where I'd probably step back and go into my shell a bit.
Yeah.
Now as a coach, I'm able to kind of identify, that I might not be confident yet in certain aspects, but that again, like a muscle, as you said, I can develop that and grow that.
I love that. I love that. And that's it. And I think that's the case for all of us. Sometimes when we think about our confidence as a whole, we kind of think, well, I don't know really, because it changes, as you say, that it changes according to the environment that you're in,
Yeah.
the people that you're with, like what you're trying to do. And now, as you said, having done work on this as a coach, you can now go, okay, well, I'm not confident yet in that
Yeah.
area. I know I can be if I focus on it. So that's really the first question I would pose to you today, rather than looking at confidence as a whole, because it's such a big area. Just start to think about the different areas of your life in which confidence might be important. So, just to give you some examples, we all might have different confidence, let's say, in our relationships. So I might think about, okay, what's my confidence like as a friend? Or what's my confidence like as a parent? What's my confidence like as a coach? So different areas of our life. We might have different confidence in different contexts as well, right? So we might think, okay, so what's my body confidence? How do I feel about being in my body, about, how I look? That's an important part of our confidence. Another aspect might be, how do I feel about my confidence when I'm speaking to new people in a new social situation? How does that feel? So when we start to think about our confidence, and often in coaching we use a wheel to break down those different areas of our lives, that's a great thing to do with confidence, to take a big circle, break it down and think about, okay, what are those different areas of my confidence and how do I feel about each of those? Is that something that you've used, Rebecca? Is that a tool that you've used
So I
yourself?
do like the will, because we used that, didn't we, at our event last year, didn't we? At our
We
in-person
did.
event, we used that will, and it's a really good technique to use. I also love using just like a scale, so a scale of 1 to 10, and
Yeah.
also just tracking that. So having that scale at the beginning of a process, assessing that in the middle of a process, and then looking at it again at the end of the process and looking at how you've developed that skill over time, and again
Right.
as your confidence has improved over time. So it's a really good way to have a look at it visually as well, isn't it? Because sometimes when we look at our confidence, we don't actually notice that we've developed and grown that muscle until we really
Mm,
have a trackable way of keeping an eye on that and monitoring that. So I think that's a really good method to use.
I love that. So to identify an area of confidence and to measure it, to go, okay, where am I now in terms of my satisfaction with that confidence on a
Yeah.
scale of 1 to 10? So 1 being really low, 10
Mm.
being exactly where I want it to be, and then taking a measure and going, okay, well, it's September 22. Let me take a measure. Maybe it's a 3 on that scale. Let me measure and let me check in again in a month and 2 months and 3 months and see what progress I've made. And that's such a good tip, because then that gives us the confidence that we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
make a change in that
yeah,
area.
yeah. So have you always been confident, would you say?
No, absolutely not. I was actually
And I was
incredibly
waiting for
shy,
you to say that.
as a child.
I
Yeah,
want people to hear that though, right? Because sometimes when people see us or see
yeah,
other people visually, they think, oh, they're really, really super confident.
right.
But actually, behind closed doors, Sarah and I are actually, I would say, a combination of introvert and an extrovert, ambiverts, right? We
Absolutely.
can deal with this for a short amount of time, and then we get this kind of visibility hangover, and we're like, oh, we need to breathe. We need to breathe. So, what
Yeah.
were you like when you were younger?
Yeah, no, I especially when I remember, well, actually, as a young child and as an older child, as a young teenager as well, very, very shy, found it very difficult to speak to new adults, found it
Mm.
difficult to do or to try new things. I was, I was a very, very kind of good girl. I was very, good at school and good in terms of my behavior and always wanted to do everything right. And so I hated putting myself out of my comfort zone because my biggest fear was to do something wrong or to get something wrong or say
Mm.
something wrong. And so it's been really through time and focus that I've worked on my confidence, and particularly in the last sort of 5 to 6 years since I started my coach training, I've really, really focused on my confidence. What
Mm.
about you?
Mm. So I would say that I was confident, but and this is a great insight actually for those people that are listening, possibly that are of colour as well. Sometimes I got told that I was too much, right? So sometimes, mostly black girls, right, they get this kind of tainted stereotype that they're too much, they're too loud, they're too out there. And sometimes the confidence can come across as intimidation or arrogance, right? So I was really conscious of that, and I would tone myself down quite a lot. Even though I was probably confident in certain situations, I would retreat a bit so that I didn't get branded as being too much, right? And so now as an adult, I see that and I notice that, and I'm still conscious that I do step back sometimes a little bit. But again, trying to push forward and be confident that I'm not going to come across in that wrong, in the way that I don't want to be perceived. So, oh yeah, I was confident, but as I said, I hid a bit. I did hide a
Mhm.
bit. But I'm stepping into my brave a bit more, and I think leadership in education helped me to step more into that, into
Yeah.
the forefront. But again, yeah, very conscious that I don't want to come across as being too much.
God, it's amazing that messaging, isn't it, that we receive as children, and those
Mm.
cultural expectations, gender
Yeah,
expectations.
yeah.
Wow.
I see it with my daughter as well, actually, that
Mm,
she can be, wrongly perceived sometimes, and so it's about trying to teach her how to kind of handle that confidence and
mm,
hold herself well, so that she
yeah.
continues to be a confident young lady throughout her teens and early 20s and into early career.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And it's so important, isn't it? Because we know that for girls, their confidence really drops off between roughly the
Yeah,
ages of 7 and 9. My
yeah.
youngest is 8, so I'm really, really conscious of that at the
The
moment.
awareness stage, right?
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So faking it till we make it. Yeah, I'd probably say I did fake it till I make it a bit when I
Yeah,
was starting off in the career world, right? Yeah,
right. What did you do? What did you do that allowed you to fake it until you made it? And what do we mean when we talk about fake it till you make it?
yeah. So what did I do? I would always, and my dad taught me this actually. He would say to look at other people
Mm,
and to see what they're doing, but as a way to learn and grow. So I would
right.
always look, and I advise my clients to do the same thing. Look at someone
Mm,
that you think exudes that
yeah.
confidence and take from that the little bits that you think that you can adopt. So
Hmm.
I know the way I dress, like even just putting on a pair of earrings, like you
Yeah.
wouldn't probably know that I probably only had a few hours sleep today, but just popping on a few, a pair of earrings to make me feel better about myself, help me
Yeah.
to stand up straight, right?
Yeah.
Have my posture and my back straight to help me feel confident walking into a room or wherever I am. So I think that's what I did. I looked at other people and I took little bits from what I saw from their confidence persona that they were exhibiting. And I just adopted that. Sometimes I'd wear heels, or sometimes I'd just have a blazer on and flats,
Mm,
or probably often it is earrings for me. Yeah, that's probably
mm,
my go-to. But
okay.
just something that would help me to walk into a room and feel comfortable. I think that's the key thing for me. Feeling comfortable allows me to feel confident.
I love that. Okay, so it's about feeling comfortable. It's about looking at people whose confidence you
Mm,
admire and thinking, what can I borrow
yeah,
from that confidence? Now, that's not about being fake, but it's about borrowing aspects, characteristics from other people and adopting them yourself
mm,
until they become part of who you are.
yeah.
And I
What
think
about you?
Yeah, well, very, very similar actually. I think, as you said about the earrings or the heels or the blazer, often as women, we underestimate how powerful that is. That
Mm.
and not just for women, for men as well, that we're there, that we dress in order to play the part. But I would also add to that as well, your body language. As soon as we change that body language, you said about standing up straight, as soon as we change our body language, and I talk to my clients about this as well, as soon as we smile, it triggers that positive mindset in our brains just by that physical aspect of smiling. As soon as we stand firmly planted in the ground and we open up our chest so that we can breathe fully, it takes us into, because again, it impacts the brain straight away, it takes us into that stance of confidence. So even though what we might feel like doing is making ourselves smaller, because again, as women, we're
We're
kind of
hunching over, yeah, the head down,
cross our arms,
arms
look
crossed.
down,
That was
sit
me.
tightly,
Yeah.
all of that. But as soon as we say, no, I'm not doing that, I'm going to be here, I'm going to take the space, I'm going to
Mm.
make my voice heard, that really, really helps. And the other thing that really helps is to really listen to what my brain is telling me, because often my brain will have this little dialogue of like, who are you to be here? What are you doing? It's all going to go wrong. Da, 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 da. And just to catch that and go, okay, thanks, brain. And I talk about this a lot with imposter syndrome as well, but just to go, thanks, I hear you, but I'm going to turn down the volume on that voice because that's not serving me. And I'm going to tell myself a different story. So I'm going to tell myself that it's safe for me to be here. I've got a contribution to make. I've got this, whatever I want to be telling myself.
For those people that are nodding like I am and resonating with this, just know that we see you, we hear you, and we are totally, totally there to support you as well during that transition of being this best confident version of yourself. And it takes time. Please don't think that people turn up and they're just confident overnight. As Sarah said, it is a muscle. We do have to continue to work on it, grow it, develop it, strengthen it. And it takes time, but we will get there. We all get there eventually.
100%. Brilliant. So thank you. It's been really, really interesting to discuss this with you today. And if you're watching us later, let us know your thoughts as well. We'd really love to hear. So our main messages today is that we have to, before we can just be confident, we kind of have to fake it until that becomes part of us. But we know confidence isn't fixed. It can change over time with focus. Rather than trying to tackle our whole confidence as a whole, it's good just to start with, okay, I just want to feel confident in this situation or in this area or in this aspect, and just start there, thinking, where am I now? Where would I like to be? Thinking about the people whose confidence you admire and what traits or characteristics you'd like to adopt and borrow from them. And then thinking about what you're doing with your body, whether that's how you're dressing or what your posture, and what your mind is telling you as well. So I hope that's given you plenty of food for thought today. Love to hear from you from all of that. That's a lot of different kind of tips and tricks that we've both used. What's been most helpful for you today? We'd really love to hear.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
See you guys later.
Bye.